Servus and welcome. I'm Vera at Spilled Coffee Crafts, and today I come to you with the last leg of the Scrappy 8 challenge for 2025. And this is October, and Christine from Christine Loves Dogs, I link her Instagram account in my description box. She's of course one of the Scrappy 8 team, and she gave us the prompt for the last month. And the prompt is, when I find something to write, I will write it here: nostalgic memory. Yeah, and it's the last one for this year. Nostalgic memory. Okay, I needed to think a little bit about this, but not too hard, to be honest. And yeah, not like last month where it took me nearly 4 weeks to come up with something that would work. But I had an idea for this one. But of course, there are a few things that remind me of my past. And one of these is this box. This is, you may know this, I don't know. This is a puzzle game. And I put these away for the moment. These could usually go here into the lid. I'm just making sure you can see what I'm doing here. Yeah, and this is a puzzle game, and how I used to play it, I had a thing like this when I was a quite little girl, and I loved it. And of course you can use it like a puzzle. So pull all the cubes out and arrange them for one of the pictures. And the hard thing on it is that you have, of course, 6 pictures on here, and you need to find the one that goes with the picture you want to make. So this was one of the things. But then the magic happened, because once you had assembled one of them, you could get all of them. So, no, if you knew how, you could get all of them. Let me see. Oh yes, you had to move them like this, and magically, with turning, the next image would appear. And this one, so this particular one, is not the one I had. Mine got lost in the years, but I found this one in a thrift shop not too long ago, and I needed to have it. Okay, so that's that. So, and why am I showing this to you? Yes, of course, nostalgia. Maybe this is nostalgia. And okay, what are we making for the Scrappy 8 challenge with this one? Okay, and I took the images because there are also the images in here, so you have you know what you are creating with the cubes. And unfortunately one is missing, because one is here in the lid. See? And there are 3 here. One is on the outside of the lid, and One is missing. But this was enough to give me 4 images. What I did, because I didn't want to cut up the original ones. In this case. So maybe this is nostalgia. Because usually I want to use the original ephemera. But also I'm not sure if it would work because the paper starts to get brittle, and we need to fold things. Okay, so I copied these images on my printer and cut out 4 by 4 inch images, so parts of them, so the ones that I liked. So for example, I cut away the prince. Who needs him? Yeah. Okay, so but this is now only copy paper and maybe a little bit too thin for what I want to make. And so I pulled out this, I think it's a 6 by 6, yes, 6 by 6 paper bag that I don't really care for. It's nice. I bought it at Action for very cheap and it is one-sided and I don't know. Yeah, I don't really care for it. So I pulled out 4 of the papers, so always 2. So this one is not too bad, right? And this one is, yeah, okay. But yeah, and I will back my these are 4 by 4 inches, and I think I will cut these to 4.5 and 4.5. Let's see, and glue my other images on there. Okay, this paper cutter does not do 4.5, but also maybe that's not necessary, because if I, what is it, 4, and I just cut them to the last line I have here. And see how much this gives us. Oh yes, I'm happy with that. This is more than enough border for these, and this will make it a little bit sturdier. Yeah, I will do this to all of them. Okay, we leave them to dry and come back to cutting and gluing them. Did I even tell you what I want to make? I want to make an everfold, which is usually called an infinity card. Now I have it. It's an infinity card. I call them everfold because this is also, these are fairy tales. So happily ever after, everfold. There is no stopping it. I like to call them everfold. However, I don't know if I read it somewhere or if I came up with the name. I call them everfolds, yes, and I want to make an everfold with these images. But I made a specific video how to make an everfold. I will link it in the description if it is already out, or it will come during the next days. You will see this also when I create this everfold, but for the details and for more in-depth explanation how this is created, I made this other video. So as a tutorial, because this is a process video and the other one is a tutorial. I'll come back when these are dry enough to work with them. So I'm back and this is now how they look. They are dry now, a little bit curled up, but fine. I like the addition of the border. Well, let's see how they behave when we are making an everfold. Sorry, had to get my chair. So, and okay, I'm cutting these now. 2 of these images get cut vertically and 2 get cut horizontally. In as exact the middle as we can. Okay, so let's see, are they, yeah, not looking too bad. Fine, they look fine. Okay, so we need one that's cut vertically, and then number 2 needs to be one that's cut horizontally and vertically and horizontally. So I'm just putting them here in the right order. So then this is the image we want to use as the first one. I need to switch them inside out. Then, oh, I left my glue open. So now I need the top part of the next image. Oh, and I am struggling because, oh, come on. I need a different background because there is white on white. I can't see my edges. Let me see if I find something colored at least. Oh yeah, this should work. This should do. Oh yeah, now I have contrast. Oops. Yeah. Okay. And also the bottom part of the picture. This, of course, is Sleeping Beauty. This one, I don't know how, if it exists in English or how it's called. In German, it's called Frau Holle. Okay, So is this glued down? All right, let's see if the bending works. Yes, looking good. And oh, no. Don't go apart. And squish down. And burnish as good as you can. These folds need to be crisp. So the third picture again is one that's vertically. Oh, we had to cut her face. Oh, a shame, but yeah, can't be helped. Okay, and with this one we put, let's see, how good did we? Oh, not too bad. And again, glue here, and as already mentioned, there is a complete tutorial how I make my ever folds on my channel, or will come quite soon. This is not hard to do. There are only a few points you need to wrap your head around. And where to glue is not one of them. It's quite intuitive in my opinion. Once you saw this done, it's quite obvious where the glue is needed. Okay, give it a few seconds. And we have to do the magic folding again. Stay put. Yes. How does it look? And for the last one, we switch. Okay. And one last time. Okay, I didn't do a very precise job with gluing this one. But still, yes, it works. Okay, we need to do a little bit of clean up here. Yes, this image is fine. Maybe a little bit here. Then we have her. Also, okay. Okay, the Everfold works as it is supposed to work. And also I will put a little bit of glue on these edges because I don't want to see the white. Yes, and here we have it. I love it. Oh, yes, I do. Oh, and I know I would have loved it as a kid, as a girl. Gorgeous. Okay, I'm fine. With this, and now what this also needs is a card, because it needs to go into my Scrappy 8 to be journal. So, and this is an interactive piece that needs to get stuck into a pocket or something. So I create a tag where this can go on. But I need to think about it. I think I found the perfect page or mount for this one. This is a page from an art book about Edith Kramer. So she was an Austrian-US painter and pioneer in art therapy, and I link her Wikipedia article in my description box because she was a very interesting person. Yeah, and this is a painting by her which is called Playing Girl. It's an oil painting, 66 centimeter by 53 centimeter, and I think this matches perfectly my feelings about this make and the background of it. And I talked about it already. And I couldn't cut it down. It wouldn't be as beautiful with this piece missing, so I just folded it over, and my Everfold will live in here, just fixed in with a paper clip. Oh gosh, it's already late and I can't talk anymore, but we are done. This is my make for the Scrappy 8 Challenge 2025 for the prompt Nostalgic Memory. I hope you enjoyed this. And oh yeah, one more information. There will be one additional video for the Scrappy 8 Challenge. I think it will come out in November. I'm not sure when I will have time to do it, because for now these are the cards, all the makes that I did for the Scrappy 8 Challenge, and they need to be bound because I don't want them to have as floating cards just tucked in here. I want to bind them, and of course I bring you along. So there will be one more video for the Scrappy 8 Challenge, but not a prompt, just making the journal. See you there.